Howdy, Beefalo Bard here, and welcome. And this video, just gonna be doing some work, and I figured I would stream while I was working. Well, if anybody wanted to jump in and talk, or see what's going on with what I'm doing, then they can ask questions and chat while I'm working. So, essentially, what I'm going to be doing here is setting up the current menu system that I've been using for since last year. It's very simple. Well, it's my simple multiplayer template. Essentially, what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go ahead and set it up to where when you select for multiplayer and the host, when you get to the host menu, let's actually, we want the create server and not find server. So whenever you actually come to this window right here, there's always been plenty of room left over, and I've added some other stuff in here and there. But what I'm going to do is, in this area here, I will set up the functionality to make it work for, okay, now whenever I select create a server, I'm going to have an option for setting the game mode. And then whenever you select your game mode, then it will let you pick which map you want to go to. And right now, there is just the team deathmatch and one map. However, another map should be getting back to me either today or early in the morning. So once I get that map in hand, I will go ahead and add in the capture the flag mechanics and that map. So that being said, the simple point that I'm going to have to do here is I need to go ahead and, with this create server box, this is the only thing that I really need to work with right now. So even though I'm minimizing everything now, every time I go back and forth, it's going to unminimize everything, and it's annoying as shit. I wish they would actually come up with a way of not doing that, remembering how this window is shown. So whenever I go to my graph and then come back to my designer, everything's not freaking wide ass open again. It remembers what I had open. I don't need all this other crap open when I'm working on this section only, so I have what I want open. Annoying, really annoying. So what we have to kind of figure out here is we have the border for this right here for the server creation, and then we have the server creation text, the horizontal box, we have a button, we have text on the button, and then we have the actual enter the server name, which is a text box. And the function for this is on commit, so whenever you actually enter and hit enter key whenever you're done typing it in, it will save it. Or even if you don't save it, whenever you click on make is when it saves that information. But we have this information here, so we can actually put that into the vertical box. We can add another function in here. So just kind of have to figure out how I want it to look. Do I want to have a I definitely know I want to have a space. So after the search button, and no, screw you, I don't want you open at all. So after this, I need to throw in a primitive, which I need to come in here and get the spacer, drag it down until it just hits that spot there. And it didn't put it in, so I can just go ahead and put it in the vertical box by dragging it in. So now I actually have the spacer in, and on the appearance, if you change this number, it's going to change the left and right for the X, but if you change the Y, it changes the vertical. So it gives me a little bit of a space in between right here. And now the next thing that I add in here, kiss my ass, close you. Yeah, I didn't tell you to open up. So now I can go ahead and just, the next thing I put is going to be right down here in between this and this with the space in between. Hence, the nature of a spacer. Sorry, I'm trying to force water in my system. I tend to have really poor hydration habits. Compile and save. I save pretty frequently. I don't use the autosave feature because it annoys the crap out of me. So I choose to manually save, and I get myself in the habit of doing a manual compile and save. That way, if anything does happen, there's less chance of losing anything. So for now, I guess what I want to do is, and I'm probably going to go ahead and make this even smaller. We're going to bring this back down to 20. And then I want to put in some text to say, choose a mode. But I honestly want it to, whenever I choose the mode, I want this portion to go away, and then I want the choose a map to come in. So what I'll probably end up doing is creating another box here, and inside this, what I want to do is the create server box. This is a variable item. I can turn the visibility on and off of that. So everything that's contained inside here will be turned on and off whenever you're changing these buttons over here to turn the visibility of the create server box. So I can put whatever I want in here, but then I have to turn visibility on and off of what I want in here. So after the spacer, I want to have some another box. So let's go ahead and we can look at on the inputs, not on the inputs, on the extras. No, I'm being dumb as hell today. Panel. On your panel, you want to go ahead and decide, well, I want a vertical box. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this vertical box, drop it into this vertical box. And now that gives me this one right here, right below my spacer. Now anything I enter into this vertical box is set up now as a variable. I want to make sure I do that so that I can turn it on and off. So what I want to do is I want to give this a name. So we want to call this one the mode box. So now this will be our pick a game mode box. Then we'll do another one which will be pick a map box. So we can turn on the visibility back and forth of these. So within our mode box, what we want to do is now we want to grab some text, put it in there. And I'm going to grab that, drop it down here to on top of that. So now we have text inside here. I'm going to make sure I set it to center, and the text block itself, pick a mode or game mode. Now this will let us choose between our game modes, is what we're doing with this particular part here. So next thing we want to do is probably just go ahead and create two buttons. So I'll come back over here and I'll grab a button, drop it into the mode box, and I'm going to grab some text to put on there. And we want to give that button a name, so we'll call this TDM button. That way we know what it is. And on the text for it, we're just going to put TDM. Now, it's filling up the whole space here. We don't want it to fill the whole space, but we're going to add in another button and we're going to add in a spacer. So the next thing we want to do is, let's go ahead and grab a spacer and drop that into the mode box. And then we can actually just take this TDM button, right click on it, copy it, click back on our mode box and paste. And now we can change this one to CTF button. So this will be for our capture the flag mode. And we'll change this one over to say CTF. Now, unfortunately, I don't like the way this looks. So instead of deleting it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our mode box. I'm going to actually bring in a horizontal box, drop it inside the box there, and now I can take this and all the way down to here. Well, grab all of that, which we want to minimize as much of this crapola as possible. I want to grab this and the spacer, and I want to put them inside the horizontal box. Drag and drop, there you go. Now in the horizontal box, I can click on that, and I'm going to click on the options to try to get them to fill out. So I want them to actually be in the center of that. And actually my spacer needs to be in between. That will help. So we can do it that way, or we can select a horizontal box and try playing around with the different options here. Can do that, and then the spacer, we can go ahead and just set that to like, actually we need to change the X. We'll change 30 here, and that'll put a little bit of space in between, and I still would kind of like a space in between the text and here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this spacer, and I'm going to paste it in here, and then just drag it up here, and that should be good to go. We are going to need to resize the vertical box and the create server box, so we have a little bit more room for it. And there you go. So what we want to do is set it up to where whenever we actually pick a mode, then it automatically just switches to the next screen. So what we have is this is set. So let's actually go into, let's actually click on the button, CTF button, and scroll down, and on clicked, I hate that it puts it all the way over there, but I'm not worried about it. We're going to move it later. So on clicked on there, and that's the CTF button, and we want the TDM button on clicked, and we're going to need a reference to our mode box. So grab reference to our mode box. We're going to need it. So we don't have the other box just yet. So for now, unfortunately, there isn't more maps, and the other mode isn't in yet. So the CTF mode is not in. Team Deathmatch is. So I should probably switch them around, but it doesn't really matter. For right now, this is good. So what I want to do is create another version of the mode box, and I want to create a map box. Oh, it's so annoying with that find server bullshit and the way it expands everything back out again. So inside the create server box, inside the vertical box, we need to create another one. And what we can do for right now is our mode box, we can actually turn off visibility. And all we're doing is toggling the visibility here. Okay. Now, another thing we need to also do is with that mode box, visibility, we need to make sure that we have it selected as hidden. Actually, no, let's actually leave it as visible, because it will be the first one that comes up. So now we need to create another vertical box and put it inside this vertical box. It seems a little bit weird, but the more you think about what you're doing, it's actually not that difficult to do. So I'm just going to drag this down and drop it into the vertical box. So now we have the new vertical box, and we're going to call this our map box. And essentially you need to copy exactly what we've got here. So I'm just going to copy this and paste that in there so we have it in. And then for now, I want to go ahead and I guess what I can do is copy the buttons. We had another horizontal box is what we had in here. So we have this spacer, and now we need a horizontal box. So we grab that and put that in here. That's going to automatically place it underneath. So now with the horizontal box, this is where we need to put in our CTF button, TDM button. This is where our map buttons will actually go. So I'm going to grab these three guys. I'm going to copy and paste. Then I need to go into that, and I need to rename these. Map 1. Now here's where the fun's going to be. For now, there's only going to be 2 buttons. There's only going to be 2 maps. Map 2 button. So what I'm going to have to do is each of those 2 maps. Now the current map that's the Team Deathmatch map, I already have a map set up to do capture the flag on that one. But whenever I get the new capture the flag map this evening, then what I'm going to have to do is I'm having him create the map with everything there except for the capture the flag components itself, so that I can actually make up a section for Team Deathmatch and for the capture the flag on the same map. So these variables can still be the same, and it'll make more sense later. I promise. So in here, the text, let's actually go ahead and do fill. And we want to center it. So that should be okay there. And change the text on it. So instead of CTF, we're going to call this one, map 1 is I really don't have a name for it. So we'll call this Demo City. And map 2 text will be Urban Sprawl. I don't have a name for it either. So we just want something to be there. So now we have this horizontal box is all wrapped inside that vertical box, which is the map box. And it is set as a variable as well. So both of those are variables. So we need some functionality. Whenever we click on the host button, it comes up with this menu, and it doesn't have to always be here. Create server box. I can actually, and I probably ought to go ahead and change that location. What in the hell was that all about? Create server box. Alright, that was an unusual issue there. So I mean, I can put this anywhere that I want. Let's actually put it into the center of the screen. The size is 600, so I'm going to anchor this to the center. It's already anchored to the center. And let's do it at -300 by -111. So that's roughly dead center in the middle of the screen. I can change that. I mean, I can put it over here, over there, over wherever. But for now, this is good. This will work for what I'm doing. So let's actually start looking at some functionality here. Mode box and map box. And to get a reference to that. So now we've got to tell it to, let's see. I'm making this shit up on the fly. It's not like I already had everything pre-planned. Story of my life, though, isn't it? First thing we need to do is set visibility of the mode box. Well, we're going to need Control C, Control V. We need to turn visibility off on that box, and we want to turn on visibility of the map box. Now, that's that. However, we have the buttons inside there. We're going to get to that in just a minute, and we're going to have to do a from here on click Team Deathmatch button. So we're going to need to do the same thing for both of those boxes. Just because these are actually just turning the boxes on and off so that we can actually go to the next one. Now, really not much of a functionality that I can do on this right now, but we could actually create a new variable by going back to our designer, and now let's actually go from our graph, and this is our variable list here. We can actually create a new variable and call this game mode, and we can actually just make it into a name. What? I already did. No mail.
Wasn't any?
No. So with that, this is just going to change the visibility of that, and we'll actually set the game mode to either of the two names here. And we can actually do this and set. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this here, Control C and Control V, just to paste, copy and paste in there. Sorry for the interruption. But so the game mode here is, you know, it's not really going to matter just yet. CTF. This one we're going to call TDM. So we're actually giving them a name. We're setting a game mode to that. So since we're going to have two maps available, then what will happen is whenever I select CTF mode, it's going to turn off visibility of the current panel that we're looking at, turn on the other panel, and save the information of what our game mode is actually going to be called. And it's really only going to be used for selecting the individual map, because each map will have its own game mode already pre-attached to the map, because they're going to have different stuff in there. A capture the flag map is going to have things like a flag, whereas a team deathmatch map won't have that flag. It won't need it. So each map is going to be for capture the flag mode and team deathmatch mode, there's going to be two versions of that same map. It's kind of wasteful space wise, but until I figure out a different way of doing it, then, you know, I could probably set up something to where it reads it and says, okay, if game mode is equal to, you know, or set game mode, or so. I could probably sit down and figure it out and change the visibility of objects on the map. But for right now, it's just going to be easier for me to have two maps and two modes for each map to do it this way. So now we've got all this set up, and we have turned on our map box. And the map box itself, we need to, when we click on this button, we need to tell it to load the demo city. Click on this button, we need to go to the urban map, or whatever the name of these maps are going to be. I don't have names for them just yet, but for shits and grins, what I'm going to do is, let's look at the lobby map. And usually whenever I'm working with this template, I will make, I didn't change anything in there. It doesn't matter what I'm doing in there, just eat a dick. Okay, for right now, the only map that we have in here is called lobby map. So I am going to utilize that name inside here. So both of these are going to link to the same location. So whenever I click on Demo City, let's actually click on the button on clicked, and on the other one, let's see, map button 2 on clicked. So we're going to use those, and we're going to, for now, we're going to use these variables just to show how they're going to work. So with that, we can get a reference to our game mode, get game mode, and what I'll do is equal equal, and if it's equal to, there is a better way of doing this, but this is going to be just fine for what we're doing. CTF and Control C, Control V. Yes, I know I'm going to have to go recopy the name of the map that I just copied the name of, if you're paying attention to what I was doing. So then we're just going to go ahead and need 2 branch nodes, because we want to check to see if the game mode is equal to CTF. Then we're going to do this. If it's and I need to change this one to TDM. So then if it's equal to Team Deathmatch, then we need to do this. And again, they're not going to do anything just yet, but they will eventually. So if we click on map 1, then we need to open level, and I'm going to go ahead and Control C, Control V. Now, what this is going to do is, whenever I hit the map 1 button, it's going to ask, is it capture the flag? And we're going to have to double up on this too. So let's actually break this link, and let's move this here and move this over, because we're going to need 2. Let's actually go ahead and clear that out and clear that out, and I'm going to go ahead and copy that back again. So as I'm copying this, I can go ahead and paste that in there. So now whenever I hit Control C, I can Control V again. It already has the correct map name in that I'm going to use. So now if it is equal to TDM, then we need to add another branch node in. So it's going to ask, and we need to add listen. That needs to be in there as well, because it is multiplayer. And now, if it is, then we're going to go to this map. If it is not, then is it equal to this? I'm going to move this down. Can I link my stream? Can somebody that's watching the stream grab a link and post it in my Discord channel? I don't know if I can actually physically grab a link while I'm streaming. I will check. I think I've done it before, but pardon all the nonsense here. So before, but all right, share button. Pardon all the nonsense here. So before, all right, sorry about that. And now, as we are back to this, so what we've done here is we are asking, when we hit this button right here, is it capture the flag or is it team deathmatch? If it is capture the flag, then we're going to go to this branch, say yes, it is capture the flag, so okay, open this map. If it is not, you're welcome, and then it's going to ask, is it team deathmatch? If it's yes, then it's going to go to this. Now we could add some functionality in there and say, well, if it's not either one of those, then what the hell, an error message. But we're not going to have any errors. That's not going to be a problem. I don't like errors. I try to avoid them whenever possible. So, And since everything right now is all one map, no matter what we push, we're going to get the same end result. So we can actually just take this, Control C, and we can dump that guy, then Control V, and paste the whole thing back in again. So right now it doesn't really matter what we push, we're going to get the same result. It's still asking whether it's going to be capture the flag or team deathmatch. If we wanted to be even more specific, then we could set map to use, and then we'll probably end up doing that as well. And actually we need to do that because we cannot use that, or else it's just going to jump right into the map. So yeah, I just found that error before I even finished it out. So what we need to do is actually do that. We need to set another variable. So we need to create a variable now to map to use. So that we have to do. So now I can grab this and set map to use. And for now, we are going to have to use the lobby map. And yes, I know what it is. I know how to get the name of it and whatever. But if you ever forget exactly how you spelled a map, that's the easy way of grabbing that information. So now we're setting the map to use to lobby map. And I will Control C, Control V, and paste that over here as well. So now what we're doing is we're physically telling it what map to use whenever we tell it, you know, by selecting these buttons, we're actually setting the map name. That's going to let us go directly to whatever map we choose by selecting these. So we've got all of this. This is the boxes that we're utilizing, and that should be functionally correct. And you guys shouldn't be seeing this. This is actually part of the guts of what I actually sell here. So unfortunately you're going to end up seeing some of this, and what I'm going to do is just grab the map to use and get and put that in there. So by linking that, I'm not even going to give it a default value because that would be cheating. And I'm going to grab these guys and just drag them over a little bit. It's not like this is like top secret classified stuff, but this is something that I try to sell as a simple multiplayer template. The price is $20 now, by the way. Thank you very much. All right. Anyway, until I test it, I'm not going to actually clean it up and put any comment boxes around it just yet. But you still, I guess, need to go ahead and do that because I like to be neat and organized. And this is the mode buttons, and this is the, I'm just hitting C to bring up the comment box. This is the map select box, and I just want to go ahead and move them around a little bit just because I have lots of OCDs and I like to keep everything somewhat neat and organized. Alright, so what I'm going to do is compile and save, and I'm actually going to test this out. And to test that, I'm going to go back to the main menu map, and I'm going to play one player in standalone game, and it's actually going to reload the entire game into a little window, just like somebody was actually playing it. So, got our lovely music, click host. Alright, so there's our first error we didn't fix. Well, if you caught it or not, but oh Lord, I hate this crap. Stop showing me everything. My OCDs are just absolutely horrible. So the map box, we need to set it to hidden. so that it is not visible until we actually tell it to be visible. So let's try that one more again and see what happens. We don't want it to be there. We want it to actually not show up until we actually tell it to show up. And yes, I don't need to test it in standalone mode. I can test it in regular mode. Alright, so pick a game mode. We want to go with capture the flag, and it's throwing it down there. So, why is it throwing it down there? Even though, okay, see how it's pushed it down this way? What I want to do now is I want to make sure I select this box. It's probably going to be an easier manner to change this, instead of being hidden and this to being telling it to hide. We might be able to get away with doing collapsed. So let's actually try that. So in here, where we're doing our visibility sets, we can set that to collapse instead of hidden. And visible should be okay for that. So we're actually going to play it now in just a selected viewport, just so we can get the idea of whether it works or not. There we go. So no matter what we choose, now it's not telling it, it's not launching the game at this point. It's actually only setting the map. So we still need to give it a name and then hit make. And then it'll actually go into the map at this point. So even though we're still in a the same map in the same mode, I haven't added the other maps yet. So whenever I add the maps, then all I have to do is just change it in there. But another thing I have to look at a little bit later on is the sprint key works just lovely. You walk around, and yes, we can go check out the girls. Walk around, that's reporting back normal. Again, if you guys haven't noticed, if you've tried the demo so far, the girls, or the robot girls that are dancing in here, each time you load the map, they randomly change colors. So, little weird thing there, but cool. Something I just played around with. But what's happening is whenever you go to sprint, the client can't sprint. It doesn't report back correctly. So I'm going to have to look into that, and what I'll probably end up doing is just increasing the walk speed a little bit and disabling sprint till I have time to actually set the correct setup on there. Now, this one is not the same as the capture the flag. This one is actually just a team deathmatch. So it doesn't have the jetpack, and it doesn't have the hover bikes and things like that. I may change that later, but for now, this is just team deathmatch, and there is no scoring. It's just run around, kill your buddies, and that kind of stuff. Here soon, I will add a scoreboard, and it'll be showing like an upper right-hand corner of the screen or whatever to say which team has which number of kills. For some reason, the background audio doesn't. It has kind of a pause in between. It's something else I got to look into. If you guys find bugs on here, just please let me know on my Discord channel, and I'll squash them as quickly as I can. There's a lot of little bugs, nothing major, but little bugs here and there. But right now, there's only one gun. I need to add in the other guns so that light, medium, and heavy have their own weapons. So for now, what I've been trying to work on is just getting this this correction changed. Now, it does look screwed up in here. Doesn't matter, because it looks right in game. So I'll actually go back in here and play it in standalone mode so we can see what it would look like actually playing. So play it in standalone game, and it'll actually bring it up, and we can look at it that way. If you guys got questions, shout in either in Discord or the stream. I can see both of them at the same time. The joy of 3 monitors. Actually, one of 4th now. I'm actually considering, since I have a glass top desk, my fourth monitor died, but was set up to run a fourth monitor underneath my glass desk, so I can actually look down through my desk and see the other monitor. But it was really bright, and I have no lights on in the room just because I just feel more comfortable that way. Yeah. So this all looks good. I want to hit find. That should go away, but it killed this. Why did it kill that window? I didn't change anything on that. On the find server box, let's actually go back through here, and we're done with the create server box, so we're going to hide that one and display this one. No, the music is actually from TechnoAxe. I promote their website on a lot of my videos because really and truly it's kick-ass music. It's royalty free. So I put the logo in here. If you want, I can grab a link for it and post a link in there. Yeah, see, for some reason the find server box decided it was just going to relocate itself completely somewhere different. So it's 800, so we're going to do -400 by -100, and that should recenter it back again. Compile and save. I did a Google search for TechnoAxe about a year ago, and came across it a year or two ago, and it's like really good stuff. It's royalty free. It lists all the stuff you need to comply with just for the royalty free stuff. I'll post it in both locations here so everybody can see it. Good stuff though. I really dig it. That's that particular song is called let's see, assets, music, no problem. That one in the menu is Sunrise. Let me actually find the actual. You can download most of the songs in MP3 format, but some of them you can actually download in WAV format. And that's the thing, is if you're going to use it in Unreal Engine 4, you need to use it in, unfortunately, for most situations, you're going to have to use it in WAV format. And I use Audacity for doing that. Let's see. I want to get the actual name for it, but it's something to the effect of Sunrise in LA or Los Angeles or whatever. I abbreviate the names of it once I convert it over to the WAV file, just because it makes it easier. Yeah, Audacity is great. I need to learn more on how to use the damn thing. Well, I'll bring this window in here. As you can see, I have a few of his songs here and there. They're not in any particular order. I need to reorganize everything. I keep saying that I need to get organized, and I never do. So, actually, that was in the strip club. Lose Yourself on the Floor. That's the one that I'm playing on the dance floor. And the song in the menu is Sunrise over Los Angeles. So yeah, that's the name of the songs that I'm using, and they're all from TechnoAxe. So if you don't know how to use TechnoAxe, I've shown it in a couple other videos on converting it, but essentially all you do is you open it up, and then you turn right around and you take it in. Let's actually play this again to make sure that looks right again. You just open it up, and then Control-Shift-E to save or export as. And there we go. That's all good. That Demo City. What I should probably do now also is whenever we hit Demo City or Urban Sprawl, we need to know that we've changed it. So I guess there's a couple ways we could probably do it, and I'll worry about it later on, but what I can probably do is change the button status so when you press it, it stays and looks like it's in a down position. Or we can actually change the color, or we can add a little... what I've done before is actually, we've done like a a green bar that goes around it on both of them, and then set the opacity from to 0 to 1, so that now the green light shows its surrounding, or whatever we want to surround the button that we have selected. That's probably the easiest thing to do. So you're just creating another image and then placing it behind there, or you can create an image of or get an image of an LED light or whatever. So yeah, there's a couple different ways to do it. I know that it works. So right now, when you change your class, in the game, each class has their own specific model, light, medium, and heavy. And since you can see I'm on blue team right here. Now, while you're in the game, you can hit the M key, and I'll probably change the binding on that key. But now I can go to red team, and I'm probably going to disable that up there too. Now, I didn't change my class, so red team, heavy, and then it should return me automatically to the game. But since I was already heavy, it just changed my team. But you can see I'm in the same model, but it's a different color skin. The great thing about Cindy Studios assets is that when you're actually using them, escape brings you back to the main menu. But when you're setting up your characters and stuff, the Cindy Studios characters usually come with 1, 2, 3, and then A, B, and C of each of those. So what you end up with is your primary. You have 0, 1A is your normal. This is how your characters will look. But as you can see, yeah, in this particular case, you got 0. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. But you also have A, B, C, D, E, and F. So, yeah, whenever you select, okay, I want color 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then there's a slight variation of each one of those of A, B, C, D, E, and F. So, yeah, you do the math. These are how many, plus 1 here, is how many you actually have. That's 23, so that's what, 24 different materials you can select from for your character, the way that they look. Pretty cool, huh? Really quickly, and someone asked me on the NPCs that I put out there, the color change. I actually have the streetwalkers that I'm contemplating putting these guys out there. Need to actually do something really quickly here. This is the movement stuff. I'm going to actually right click on it and collapse node, and I'm going to call this movement. I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better. So what I've done is actually put in a sequence node, and I've got these 3 pieces right here. So on begin play, what happens is it tells it to move, and when you're setting up movement on a basic movement for an NPC, essentially what you're doing is you're asking, are you moving? Oh, if you're not, then AI move to, and then you get random point navigatable radius. Set the amount of radius you want them to work within. I've set it to 5,000, and you get a reference to the mesh and get world location. Plug that into your origin of your get random point navigatable radius. What I also do is set up a random float and range. So I can set up a delay. So whenever they get to their destination, they'll pause for between 2 and 10 seconds, and then you can tell them that no, they're not moving anymore. But while they are in a moving state, you link off of the AI move to top executable, and it sets their state to I am now moving. And then on success, okay, I am done, so now I am no longer moving, and then it uses that. So that's pretty easy to work with. But to set up the materials, all I did was got a reference to the mesh. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can show you what I did here. Is I got a reference to the mesh, and with that reference to the mesh, I did random integer and range between 0 and 3. So if it's equal, and it's just an equal Boolean, or equal equal, and all you do is just hit equal equal twice, and it comes up with something of that nature. But if it's equal to 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, then if it's true, then set material to the polygon Sci-Fi 01A, or this particular one. If it's not, then at false, goes down to the next branch node and says, okay, is it 1? If it's 1, then use 2. If it's 2, then use 3. If it's 3, then use 4. And you can see I'm just linking all the branch nodes from false to the entry point and going down the line and just setting material. There was no need to set an output, but if you wanted to, you could take this little node right here that it creates when you collapse the node, and you can just link all of them to this one right here and set an output path. I'm not gonna, I don't need to, because I run it off of a sequence node here. And same thing for the mesh. It's going to choose between 6 different meshes, and I could do more. That's just where I stopped with this particular one. And it's going to pick between 6 different meshes the same way that I did for setting the material. If you guys want, later on I'll do a tutorial on just doing that. It's really, really simple. It takes a few minutes to get everything locked down in there, but it's really simple. So what you start off with is not what you end up with. Now, I just copied this in from another project that I'm working on, so I don't actually have the animation blueprint for these guys right now. I mean, I could use this one, which is fine, but they were using a different animation blueprint because they were just walking around. They didn't actually do anything. You couldn't kill them, you can't interact with them or anything else, but that's cool. It's an easy way of just changing the appearance of characters. And I've got the dancer set up to do the same thing. The stripper, and actually I've only got foreskin set up for that one, but I don't remember if I should go into, and we had an error. Single player, invalid URL. Oh, let's see here. In main menu, yeah, I'm gonna have to probably put a default in for map to use because it didn't like it. It didn't have one. So let's go ahead and find our variable map to use, and default value is going to be the lobby map for right now. So there is a actual, glad I tested that. So there we go. So once you click them, there is a slight delay, but now we need to run over here to the strip club. I forget where the hell I am. Let's see, the street sweepers means I can come over here, make a left, and there it is. Don't remember if I put the bouncer in here. No, usually I had a bouncer guy standing right there. So you can see there's 2 yellows, a pink, a yellow, and a pink. It's just random every time we go in here. Now, if you want to test that to make sure that I'm not full of crap, which I usually am, we're actually utilizing the lobby map. So I'm going to go to that map, and I'm going to navigate to right here, and I'm going to right click and play from here. And of course that won't work whenever you have random teams and spawns, but I'll just run over here. It's right down this street and to the right, I'm sorry, to the left, and then on the right hand side. I was trying to get a hang of the location. 2 yellows, pink, yellow, pink. We'll select blue team because it's going to be closer to this side. So I could peek in the back door here. Wow, it is not changing them. They're exactly the same every time. This is the little bug squashing things you always run into. Yellow, yellow on the front, pink, yellow, pink. Let's actually quit the game and go back in because we were still on the same map. Never mind. Alright, so now we're right here. That's the back door. Come right around the corner. And we'll take a look. And they should be different this time. Yeah, so you got one that's blue and one pink, or two pink and two yellow. It's just random. But yeah, that works. So, with the menu system, so that's what we're actually working on, was the menus. The escape menu, well, can't live without it, but it's good enough for now. The menu is really plain. I needed to give it some more life to it. But it gets the job done for now. I don't want to get too overly complicated on the menu and actually get into the focus of fixing the characters. And I'm thinking for now, everything should be good enough. So let's actually take the character, and I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed. And there were some things that I wanted to do. I had some sound effects that, like electrical zapping and stuff like that, that I was going to put in. So as you pass by certain locations, you heard zapping noises or whatever. I'm going to start adding in some more ambient noises and sounds and effects and so forth. Fake vendors and what have you. Just other things in the map. I'm not going to mess with that right now. But I do want to go ahead and set up the actual master character. And what I really want to do is go to the character movement. I don't want to show John's code. He's worked hard to make all this stuff. So I'm going to come over here to max swim speed. I really need to work on... I need to relearn how to do swimming again. I totally screwed up how to do that. The max walk speed. What I've done was I added in... It's my escape menu. Where the hell did I put it in? Yeah, right here. This is all you do. If you want to give your characters the ability to sprint, your max walk speed is defaulting it right now the way this one's set up at 270. I'm actually going to bring that up to 500. And I'm going to disable this. But that's all you're doing is when you press your left shift key, you set max walk speed to 600. When you release it, you set your max walk speed to 270. It is that friggin' easy to add a sprint to the game if you're doing single player. But in multiplayer, you really have to go one step farther and actually the client needs to tell the server that the client is sprinting. The server needs to tell, hey, y'all some bitches, I'm running now. So there's a whole lot more involved when you're setting it up for multiplayer. Everybody has to be able to know that everybody is doing something. So for now, I'm just going to disable it, and I'm going to bump up the walk speed to a little bit faster. I'm going to leave this in here, even though it's disabled. Just by unplugging the lines off of here, it's going to disable it. So now as we move around, we're moving a little bit faster. Aiming is set pretty good with the crosshair. The bullet impacts, everything seems to be working pretty good in the game. And no sprint key. I may decide later on if I want to add in the jetpack functionality to Team Deathmatch, but I kind of wanted to make this more of a run around and quick shooter. Nobody else has played it. Have you noticed any other bugs or buildings you can't walk into, places that get you hung up? There was a spot I noticed on the map that you could actually go into that you could fall through the world, and I think I've already fixed it on this one. I'm trying to make sure that I get all these different locations found. Before, if you come over here, you can jump to get up on top of these stairs, and walk between these buildings. And I actually put a block here to try to keep you from getting through here, because as you can see underneath the world. And I wanted to block that from happening. So if you try coming in this way, sneak around, you just can't quite make it, because I have it blocked off that way as well. But I didn't want to make it to where you couldn't have a little fun and explore, because you can come over here, and I want to show all of these. It's some of the places where you can actually jump on objects and be able to get up on top of the buildings and do a little sneaky sniping. If I'm not mistaken, you can actually get up. I'm trying to remember where I got up before, but I was actually up on top of these buildings sniping. Yeah, right now I don't have the NPCs set up walking around. That's pretty easy to set up. I mean, I can show you guys how to do that. I've already got the character created, and I just walked through that character, showing how it looks on the inside. Because I had the try before you buy demo that I created. No, but you guys can trust me. You can actually get up on top of this and walk across here, and you can jump across and get up on top of these buildings. There are some other spots inside the map where you can actually do that, so that's actually pretty cool. But if you guys like the idea of having the NPCs walking around the map, I like it and then don't like it all at the same time. Because when you see them, like, oh shit, there's a target, there's somebody, I gotta shoot them, but they don't die because I'm not going to give them health. I want you to kind of freak out a little bit because you see somebody, and then, you know. Now, another thing I probably ought to do is clean up the streets a little bit. I don't really like the idea of having the cars hovering in the air. And I know they're hover cars, but they don't move. And until I actually can take the time to create some that physically move around the map, it's kind of pointless to look around and see these things hovering in the air and not moving. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly just get rid of those guys. Just for cosmetics. But add the people walking around. It's going to be pretty easy. I've already created the characters, so all I have to do now is just put in a Navmesh bounds. Well, I need to actually give them a health system and be able to take damage. That way you can kill pedestrians and stuff. But for now, I'm just, I'm going to move this hover bike too, or get rid of it. Just move it up. Because the pedestrians are going to have a hard time navigating around, and it's going to cause them to flip out a little bit. But to add them into the map, essentially all you have to do is go to your volumes. Navmesh bounds volume is what you need to add. So you want to find about either the center point if you want the whole map walkable by your pedestrians, or one thing I have done in the past is actually just open up grids to where they can only walk in the city blocks and only cross the streets at crosswalks. Not so much worried about this because, well, But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a Navmesh bounds, grab it, chuck it in the city. The center would actually be inside of a building, so I'm just, for right now, I can just scale it up, and you just want to scale that box to cover as much of the city as you can. It can overlap, doesn't matter. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom out some more so I can see the whole city. And that should be good. Now I can move it over. I said it's okay if it does overlap a little bit. Now if you hit the P key, it's going to light up green on the surface areas where they can actually navigate and walk. So that's good. So I can hit P again to hide that. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some of my streetwalkers. grab him. It doesn't matter what orientation you put them. As soon as the game starts, they're just going to start walking around. So I'm going to put in... First thing I want to do is minimize all this shit. Alright, Cindy Studios, I love your stuff, but if you'll start putting your stuff inside folders like this, would be lovely. So let's actually, I'm going to move this and this and this into the map shit folder. You don't have to call it map shit, that's just what I do. And then I'm going to create a new folder called NPC, and I can put all of my NPCs in the NPC folder. Look how lovely that is. It's so clean and neat and organized. That's why a lot of times what I'll do is I love the City Studio stuff. They're great freaking asset packs. They're wonderful. I love them. But they don't come neatened up like this. And my OCDs absolutely just fizzle and just, I want to explode every time I see all that's just nasty, unorganized stuff. So everything's neat, everything's organized. It's beautiful. So what I'll do is I will go through and I've got one compiled version that's every one of the freaking City Studios asset packs piled up into one big gigantic folder. Yeah, not being in a folder really unnerves me. So, and then with them all being in one big folder, I then take one skeleton. I will pick one skeleton, whether it's Heist or Polygon City or whatever. I'll grab one of the skeletons from one of the characters. I'll put that in my characters folder, and I will be placing characters while I talk. So I will pick one skeleton, and then I will remap all of the asset packs characters, whether it's night, adventures, dungeons, the Wild West, the sci-fi, the war pack, all of them are, thankfully I map all of them to one single solitary skeleton, and then I can map that one skeleton to my different animation blueprints and animation systems. So now I only have to build my animations one time between all of the asset packs. And what I'm actually going to do is to make life even easier so I can do more of the try before you buy. I know, shut up and work. Is I'm going to create a blank project for my multiplayer project so that each of my try before you buys that I'm putting together essentially is going to be the same simple multiplayer template that I use for everything. Like I said, I've been using it for almost a year now, ever since I created it, and it works. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to put one generic skeleton from one asset pack in there, and I'm going to go ahead and rig all of my animations to that one. So then, as I create try before you buy, if I get a new asset pack from Cine Studios, then bam, all I got to do is just throw it in there, remap all of the skeletal meshes from the characters to the existing skeleton that's already set up in the animation blueprint, and then finish it out. And I could actually then, within 20-30 minutes, maybe about 30 minutes, I can put together, just like the try before you buy I did for this one. I can quickly push one out and it'll look nice. Now I spent a little bit more time with this one. Figure, hey, you know what, this is a $50 asset pack, not a $5 asset pack, so I want to add a little bit of functionality to it. Okay, first problem that I see here is okay, these guys don't have an animation blueprint, so I need to, God, as much as I hate to do this, no, I might be able to cheat just a little bit. Characters, animations, create a new folder here called Unarmed. I might be able to cheat, okay? And I say cheat here is I've already gone through the process of creating and converting and everything else, so I need to go to my try before you buy demo, I'm actually working in a new version for upload called CoG. Because CoG is actually not just sci-fi, it's everything. And I've talked about it before in multiple different videos of what it actually is. So essentially what I'm doing when I say that I'm cheating here is I'm actually going through and finding the actual thing that I'm working with right here. Like, this is the current project that I'm working on, and we're looking at animations and unarmed, and I need to find TV4. I have way too many projects here. Content, characters, animations, dance I've already copied over, but these are the ones that I need, the third person ones, and that animation blueprint. So what I'm going to try to do is cheat and just manually copy these over from one project to the next, so I don't have to actually go in and import the third person character template and then have folders that I can't frickin' delete. So until I actually manually delete them. So I'm going to try copying here, and that should bring all of them in. So let's see what that looks like. Because I actually already have this targeted, retargeted to actually work off the Cinti Studios Polygon Sci-Fi, this particular asset pack's characters, this should work. No, I shouldn't have to retarget anything because I've already done that in another project. So I'm just copying over what already works. You can see the walking one works just fine. So everything should be good to go. So if I go to my street guys and I look at my viewport, look at my mesh, I can change to polygon and blueprint. Oh, yeah, I may have to do something here. Oh, what did I call it? This is what happens when you try to cheat your way through things. Unarmed. So let's look at it here. Okay, play node bone. Yeah, it's not going to like it because I can just take a look at this. Everything should be good to go. Jump in is going to fail. It's because the folders are different. So let's actually do that. We'll do jump end and connect that. Compile and save. Okay, you still don't like it, so that's fine. That's fine. Oh, you don't like that, do you? Okay, yeah. Was not wanting to have to rebuild this whole thing. Because what it's doing is it's lost this, and when you're trying to set up this, you're trying to get your speed and direction if you're trying to actually use it for something. I can just uncheat and redo it, but with this animation blueprint here, essentially, oh my god, has it been that long since I've actually done one of these? Holy crap. Done this a freaking 100 times. Final animation pose, and you don't want that. You want, oh my god, I just totally brain farted on this. Yeah, I'm just gonna, instead of trying to cheat my way through, even though these worked, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah, the blend space, but you know what? Instead of trying to patch it, when setting up the Cindy Studios characters, it's super freaking easy. What I'm going to do is, as much as I really didn't want to, is I'm going to add new feature and content pack, and I'm going to add third person template, and then immediately start deleting stuff. I don't need your stinking maps and your third person overview. I don't need that. Yeah, delete. That's why I said delete. Delete. Go away. I don't need the third person map itself or third person folder. So, because there's nothing in there that I need. Because it's just geometry stuff, and it's not going to delete the damn folder. I'm going to have to manually delete that damn folder. And it also created another folder, which is going to be the mannequin folder, which I don't need that either after I do this. In fact, I don't even need this. I don't need this. So I could actually get rid of the third person BP folder. And all I need is that mannequin folder. And that's the crappy thing, is whenever you're sitting there and you do that, for some unknown stinking reason, it never wants to get rid of this stupid third person map, so, or folder. So you have to manually go into it and delete it. And it's still showing up there. I'm actually going to have to close the project down and come back into the project so that I no longer see that stupid folder. So all I want to do now is go to my animation folder, and I want to also go to my mesh folder, go to the UE4 mannequin skeleton, and click on the upper arm. I rotate it up 50. Same thing with the other upper arm, 50. And then on the lower arms, I want to rotate them back 20. And then go to retargeting. I want to set it up for the select humanoid rig, modify pose, use current pose, save, done. Now I go back into my animations folder and right click on third person animation blueprint, retarget, duplicate, select the Skiffy character here. We're all good. I want to replace the third, damn, I cannot type, THIRD, third person underscore, oh, wow, what the hell, NMBP. I'm going to rename the whole damn thing, and I'm going to replace it with the name of poly underscore ABP. And I want to hit change because I want to put it in my folder where I want it to go. And I want it to go into the characters, animations, unarmed folder, bam, and bam. Hit the retarget button. We are Dunsky. Animation blueprint should now be perfectly flawless. And all the animations should be perfectly flawless. And we can hit save all. That's delightful. And now we can go back into our street guys, and we want to go to our viewport so we can look at them. Our mesh, our animation class, poly AVP, lovely. And now we can compile and save and close and play, and there we go. So let's go see if our guys are walking. Yay, look at there. You can see they're going to cycle through their random skins and their random character meshes. So let's go find a couple more. And I put the same blueprint down. You saw me put the same blueprint down everywhere. So let's actually, I'm holding the shift key like I'm going to be able to sprint. I've already disabled the sprint key. Now, I didn't bother replicating anything on these guys because it doesn't really matter. They're ambient guys. See, this is the muscle guy or the whatever. He's got yellow and black on. Here's a guy hiding back here. So they're going to sit there for between 2 and 10 seconds before they start moving again. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? They don't exist. Bullets go right through them. So they're not continuing to walk. Why are you not walking, man? Is you stupid? Or is the developer stupid? I'm probably going to say a little bit of both. Yeah, these Cheetos ain't moving. Hey, move. Go away. Alright, so let's take a look, see what's going on here. Movement is moving. That's correct. We've also done this 100 frickin' times. Alright, so when you are moving, you're set to is moving. When you get there, you wait and you set is moving to false. And oh, event begin play. New. Stupid. You're stupid. We want off an event tick. So yeah, your movement needs to be off event tick. Everything else can be off of that. And let's get rid of this extra pin. So let's compile and save. And now, since the developer got his head out of his anus, let's see if that works. Alright, so he's walking. Where you going to, bro? Where you going? Why are you walking so far? Gonna get to your destination, and you're gonna wait. Hey, how about that? See, every time it goes to move, it's going to be a random location where it's going to move to. And then it's going to have a random delay time before it starts moving again. So that's lovely. So now that I got the brain fart dislodged, so that's working. Why are you staring at the wall, man? You got issues? You're walking through the wall. That's lovely. You're a wall hacker. You need to die. So, yeah. Later, at some point, I want to go ahead and give them some health and make them where I can kill them as well. But right now, you're running around. You don't know who the hell's who, except for the fact that the NPCs should not be the same models as the players. But there is a way to tell who's a player and who's not a player. We're going to go to play. We're going to do this 2-player, and we're going to go to, and we're going to get some pie. So now we have 2 windows up, and they're kind of small, so I hope you guys can see. We have a red team, white, and hey, we can walk around, and we're playing as player 1. This is actually the server that's walking around right now. Alt-tab, I can switch over here. I'm going to go to blue team. And I'm going to have a medium character. So now it loads in, and we can walk around. Hey, there's somebody. Are you a bad guy? No. A, he doesn't have a gun, and B, well, you know, he's not shooting at us. But we shall see here. Alright, we need to find where our player is. He's actually over by the street sweepers. So the street sweepers, I think, come over. No, but I made a damn wrong turn. You are such an idiot. Learn your damn town. So the street sweepers are, hell, I thought they were on the blue corner by the strip club. I thought they were over here, but maybe I'm just on the wrong street and to come up here and make a left. So here, light character's got a little hoodie on. You see, oh, that's not a bad guy. Huh. Oh, look. It has a player name above it, and it has a health bar. And when you shoot them, they do that. Temporarily, that stays attached to the air, but, you know, they go away. Now, when you're back over here to your other character, you can hit the P key to respawn. Should probably change that to do an automatic timer for respawn. Peekaboo. You can see both of us have the same name with a different, 5-digit at the end. That's because I'm playing on the same client, so it's not a big deal. But it lets you see that, okay, players actually have that above their head, whereas NPCs don't. So if you see someone that doesn't have anything above their head, they're not players. But doesn't mean you can't freak out a little bit. So you hit escape, and that'll close out both of them at the same time. It sometimes takes a little bit, but that's how you can test to see what it's going to look like in multiplayer. And I'm just going to go back to one player and selected viewport. So now you have a quick way of saying, hey, is that a player? Oh, shit, no, okay. So you see movement, and it kind of freaks your brain out a little bit, and you're like, oh, what? No, okay, they just have blue heads. They're not blue team members, or whatever. So later on, I'll add some more stuff in, like maybe I'll bring over the hover bikes into this map. But for this map, it was just the demo map that came with the Cine Studios asset pack. So I probably won't be doing this for a paid release version, because I didn't make this map. It's not my content. It's not my team's content, and I are not about teefing somebody else's content. It's no bueno, man. There we go. So yeah, you can run around. You can find spots like this. You can sneak around and try to get to different locations and hide. Get up on rooftops. Be a sneaky little ass like me. And I was up here testing with somebody last night. I got up here and he's walking all down here, and he could not see where the hell I was. And I'm shooting at his feet. I'm like, hey, right here, nope, over there. Just screwing with him. He couldn't see me. He didn't actually take time to look up, and so I had to actually tell him which direction to turn and everything else so he could find me. So it's kind of cool. You can actually find little sneaky spots to snipe from. What you doing back here, man? You gonna steal this car? I don't think you can do it. Go away. Now, is he trapped back here, or is he just stupid? Come on, fishhead. Either, shit or get out the pot here. Give him a few seconds, see what he does. Sometimes when they get trapped, they just don't move. Now, he is moving, but you could probably change some of the logic on him to where on fail, you can set up a different condition, like destroy actor, So he's running around and I'm like, I'm stuck, I can't go anywhere, I can't get out. And if he just fails, then he just disappears. Commits suicide and vanishes. Not sure why that's in here, but oh well. I didn't make the map. Alright, so everything seems to be working pretty good now. Even though for right now I've got the new stuff in the menu, let's actually go back to that. Go to... Hell, I got too much shit open. Close, 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 close. We'll leave the mannequin folder in there for right now. It's not really hurting anything. Let's save all. And we're going to go back to the main menu map. And we're going to play in standalone game. So we're going to take a look at it from a player perspective, as if you just downloaded it, installed it, and played it, and then bring it up. So we have our lovely menu. We have our Steam username and avatar in upper right hand corner. Access Steam communities right there. Go to single player, and it should go directly into the map. There we go. We can still pick a team and whatnot because it's single player. We need to be able to do something. And at some point, I will set up again, like I said, the NPCs. So at first, where you can actually kill them, and then second, where they actually will fight back. So in single player, you'll actually have something to do, instead of just like, ooh, this is pretty, I can shoot my gun in the air, I can look at my own butt crack, you know, that kind of stuff. You're going to have something to do, right? So what I'm going to do is hit escape, go back to main menu, and go to multiplayer host. Now, it's asking me to pick a game mode. I want capture the flag, and I want the urban sprawl map, and I don't want to enter a damn map name or a name in general. Just being a jackass right now. So hit make, and it now knows what map you're going to. So even though it's the same frickin' map for all options. So as soon as my boy gets me that map, then yeah, I did figure out my issue was just being lazy, not the I'm missing this or I'm missing that. It was just being a lazy ass, copying shit in. So I keep hearing a sound. It sounds like someone's changing weapons, and that's not even, I don't even have that mode in here. Keep hearing that sound file. So we got random girlies. Everything works except for the fact that we don't have any additional maps. I can resume game. That works. And of course, it doesn't work. I can't use the frickin' hover bike. Damn it. The hover bikes in capture the flag mode do work. The guy building the map for me for the capture the flag mode, I asked him to make it big enough to where you can actually utilize the hover bikes. And now hover bikes are 2-player, so say if I hop on here to ride the hover bike, then a second player can actually come over and get on back. And I'm going to go to main menu, exit game. I'm actually going to do a save all real quick, and I'm going to load up a partial version of that I'm working on, just testing some variables out. I think, maybe. So this is the current version that will be re-uploaded to itch to replace the existing version once I get the maps in. I just wanted to have this all set up so when I get the map, I can quickly change things over. I don't remember which version I'm working on. I don't know if it's this one or the other one, or I got car game that I'm working on. I got so many different things I'm working on. So I've stopped working on everything else so I could focus in on getting this one polished enough to where I can actually put a price tag on it. The version that's on itch.io right now is definitely going to stay free. I'm not going to charge someone to play one map and one mode. The whole idea of putting one map and one mode up is to try and get some interest there to see if people are going to like the damn thing. So okay, I've got the vehicle spawner, I've got the character chain station, I've got the generator, I've got the flags there. These are your player starts. These pads don't show up in game. Let me try this with 2 players and a new pie. So I'm going to join the blue team, and okay, now we go over here and I want to join the blue team. Hey, what's up, dude? You alright? Hey, here, can you hold this for a second? Nice sticky grenade, bro. Friendly fire is disabled. So you got kind of a kick-ass looking grenade launcher there. So I'm going to spawn a vehicle in. I'm going to come over here and hop on the hover bike. So I can see home cheese is on the hover bike. I got to play with the controls a little bit. So now, I'm like, hey dude, cool hover bike. So I have to rotate him around. Currently right now I have him facing forward. Probably not the best option, especially when you're using grenade launcher, because you're going to be bouncing off your friend's back. But you can see I'm on there, Um, what I was probably be better off doing is setting up to where I'm actually sitting on the back facing backwards. So now as I'm riding around, yeah, see I have it set up to work off the back. I just need to rotate the sitting position. So now you and your partner can ride around on the hover bike and shoot crap while you're riding around the hover bike. So this is the capture the flag stuff. So it works. So I'm going to hop off the bike. When I get off, it forces the other person off as well. And then after a few seconds, it's just going to despawn. So I'm actually going to, like, hey, dude, you suck. I want to ride. I'm actually going to, hell, I can't remember the damn control. I'm going to close it down and start it one more time. Because I'm changing controls back and forth. You're going to be on blue team. Alright, you're blue team. That's awesome. And you're on red team. So, as you can see, kind of have them hidden here. You've got the generator and you have the character station. Now, I've got a kind of a glitch I got to fix on one of them. But essentially, you can come over here and change your player class from the standard, which is light, medium, and heavy. And light, medium, heavy, they each have their own particular skeletal mesh. And then what I'm going to end up doing is changing it to where the color of the clothing is different right now, and I don't like that. And it kind of bugs a little bit when you look straight down. Got some minor collision issues that I need to iron out. So this isn't in the game yet because there's just too many little bugs with everything back and forth. So I'll fix it better. Oh no, him died. And I'm stealing your shit, bro. Auto respawn is there. Nanny. And I'm going to try to use your vehicle. Oh, I can't. Red team can't use the blue team's vehicle stations or their amenities. It is capture the flag, so... Oh, wait. I have a jetpack. Why the hell am I walking? So yes, right mouse button will actually activate your jetpack. You do have the hover bikes. Now, I haven't added it in for the red team. I've got it only in here just for testing in the blue team. So I kind of have the flag hidden a little bit here. There we go. Flag is captured. I need to add some effects, stuff like that too. So I'm not going to change classes, but the main thing is you have a repair tool. Actually, I'm going to switch back over to my red guy. And what will happen is your generator powers your vehicle station and your character station. Now, the heavy class, if you decide you want to be a heavy guy, he's going to have heavy weapons. He's not going to actually have, which... Let's actually demonstrate that. I'm going to walk back over here to my weapons station. You do have limited energy on here, so you have to watch your energy when you're trying to fly around. So I'll walk over here to my station 3E. So now I'm the heavy soldier. I have a light machine gun and hit Q, and then I have my launcher. I've got some more weapons I'm kind of sorting through, seeing which ones I want to use for which class and whatnot. But the good thing about it is the heavy class is going to have destructive weapons that are going to do more damage faster. So, I'm going to reload here. You watch the... now look, if you can see the red team vehicle station, I've damaged it. Alright, it should be destroyed now. So now if I come over here like, oh, you suck, man, my shit's on fire. Damn, it's destroyed. So, for right now, the repair gun is kind of glitchy a little bit here and there, but I can actually use my repair gun to actually heal it back up, and then I can use it. Fire gun, and good to go. But the thing is, let's go ahead and reload. Same thing with the character station. Once it's destroyed, then it'll catch on fire. It's no longer usable. But everything is still powered off of the generator. So I'll destroy the generator here. So you see it's gone. I'm going to change over to the other character and... Hey, you suck. Well, it can't heal. So this actually works as a heal team as well. Okay, well, screw you. I'll just go ahead and do this. And I'll be able to use this again. Nope. Can't because the generator's down. So I actually have to heal up my generator, get it working so that I can now utilize my other stuff. So now everything will work again. So there's a lot of cool shit that's going into this. But I just have some minor bugs here and there that I need to work out. My model that I'm using for the repair tool is having some collision issues. Same thing with the weapons in here. Because of the way that I'm using them, there's just some little collision bugs back and forth. So as soon as you try to use something, it's like screws everything up. And you know what? I don't want you on my side anymore. You need to go away. And I'll adjust the power of the weapons and stuff too. But a lot to tweak. It's not ready yet. The map's not ready yet. So as soon as I get the map, I'll go ahead and get everything good to go. Alrighty. Any questions? We've been at this for almost 2 hours. So, but this is kind of a sneak peek of the capture the flag mode. It's really sci-fi-ish, you know. What I thought about doing was seeing if I can come up with something that I can use for representing the jetpack, so you can actually walk around and say, hey, look, you got a jetpack on. And if you're not wearing it, it doesn't work, or whatever, you know. Yeah, that's right, damn it. Actually, John, go ahead and let everybody know what the prices are on the jetpack templates and on the other one. John is actually the creator of them. For the teams and for the jetpack and the capture the flag, he's the one that created all those modes for and sells them separately. And you see how easy they are to integrate in with the City Studio stuff. So, yeah, if you can tell everybody what the prices are, that would be awesome. Because I'm old and senile and shit, I always forget the prices. But they're quite reasonable, especially the team ones. The crap was like $6 for one of them. Hell, that won't even get you a good cheeseburger anymore for $6. I mean, shit. You get a hell of a lot more use out of John's templates than you will out of a cheeseburger. Hell, you get a cheeseburger for $6. You're just going to poop it out in 2 hours anyway. But you need to make sure you link your Discord here. And you need to make sure you also link it to me in my Discord, so that I can... You keep leaving my damn channel. I had you set up as a community contributor, and that way people that come through my channel to get your stuff, they can actually get the links from mine. So make sure I get a link in my Discord, so I can at least put that into something. I don't know, a sticky somewhere or whatever else, so I can refer people to it. I get a number of people that watch my videos that like the stuff. They want to know where they can get it, and I gotta know where to link them to. Yeah, that's typical too. Yeah, you probably don't get near as much as I do sometimes, but that's par for the course. When you're awesome like us, then yeah. Alright, well, I can actually, for people who actually pay attention on the links on my YouTube, Should close this up. I'm actually going to bring up my YouTubes. And if you actually go to my channel, you will see right here on the right hand side you got the Virtus Learning Hub, and you got John Galt's link right here. So all you have to do is click on that and you can go directly to John's YouTube, and he's got all the information about the stuff there. So if you can't remember where to go, then at least you know that you're on my YouTube channel right now. So if you click on my channel and you look, you're going to see him as one of my featured channels. I only have 2, so you know that's their thing. Alright, so I'm actually going to either take a break or shut it down, either one. Time for a quick break. Mother Nature is calling, and my coffee cup runneth empty. The biggest thing was I was setting up my menu system to get ready for a certain somebody. I won't mention any names of Draco to hurry up with my damn map. I have faith that it'll be awesome, and I'm waiting on somebody else. I won't mention any names, Eric's, to what the hell's my freaking new multiplayer template? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I need to actually spend a few minutes of work. Whenever I get the map, I'm going to go ahead and integrate this into the other project, so that the map system. I don't know if you were watching the first part of it, but reformatting everything back into the original project of CoG, the Center of Gravity project, and I'm going to be evolving it into my game the way I want it to be, starting off with one map and one mode and growing from there. So main menu, map, we hit play. Essentially I went back to my multiplayer template just because, well, it's, you know, I'm used to it and that's what I do. So what I've done was I added it to where you click on multiplayer, and jaded on what, bro? So you pick a game mode, then it'll automatically switch to this. You pick the map, and then you go ahead and enter a name, and there you go. Well, actually, I put the first demo up of the playable version of this game on itch.io, and so far in 24 hours time I've had a few people download it already. I haven't done any advertising on it just yet, but I've got a lot of people that are downloading it and then coming to my Discord channel, and with that they're wanting to, and these are all the developers too, so they're going to want to know where to get all the stuff that I'm working with. So it's getting there. So it's evolving out, and I will be promoting it more. But also, like I said, I needed to have a good way of linking people to get to you so that they can actually get this stuff. With that, I'm trying to kind of pick and choose on how to use them to the best that I can, but I'm wanting people to see me working with them and see examples of products that are out there that are actually using it. So the first game, the demo that's on itch.io, is free to download, free to play, and it's just this right here. This just happens to be a new version because I'm trying to get it ready for the new map and the and bringing in the capture the flag mode as well. But the getting more exposure, and that was the key thing, of getting more people to see it, and actually to see me working with videos, so people can actually see me working with these assets and get to know them. So it'll pick up. Have faith. Like I said, I will make sure that I will throw actually a sticky up on my Discord channel as well. And if you like, I can actually put mention on the itch.io page about where they can get the location, because I'm also working on a deal right now through our team doing some work with Cinti Studios. So that would be awesome also. So I'm trying to get everything working with a lot of other developers of content so that people can see something actually being created with it. And for right now, I've got people on my team slightly motivated, so they might actually get some work done. I give them hell all the time. If I don't pick on them, they'll think that I don't love them. But the thing is, I have actually been sick for the last week, and I actually have not been doing much online at all, or much behind the computer at all. So between being sick and actually trying to get some stuff done on my damn Jeep, well, if you guys have seen the video on my Jeep, that's kind of a rusty tetanus shot of a rusty, but I've also got another Jeep that I'm working on to pay for parts and parts for my Jeep. So yeah, it keeps me kind of busy. But I'm making sure that get everything linked. I'll get a link on itch.io, and still kind of back and forth on Game Jolt, whether I want to use them or not. I'm not real pleased with some of the community there, but Game Jolt does not seem like a bad way to go. But I'm already set up on itch.io with the payments and this and that and everything else. They've I'm a registered user and developer with itch.io. So I'm just kind of exploring back and forth. I know that I'm behind. I wanted to have a game on Steam first quarter of this year, and first quarter is come and gone. So definitely wanted to have it done no later than second quarter. Be pushing shit to be able to get something out on second quarter. By the end of the third quarter of this year, if I don't have a game on Steam, and if you guys haven't seen some of the latest crap that Steam's going through right now on their policy changes on what they're allowing on Steam, yeah, I should look into that. But if I don't have a game ready to go on Steam by the end of the third quarter of this year, I'm personally going to beat my staff around the head, neck, and face with a bicycle tire tube filled partially with sand and wrapped in duct tape. We're going to beat them around the head, neck, and face. And that's just to get their attention. I'm not trying to hurt them. I just want to get their attention. And then I'm going to hurt them. So, you guys check in on John's page. You just saw how to get the link to his YouTube. And from his YouTube, you can get his link to his Discord. And you can buy his awesome shit. And I love it. I use it. And I highly recommend it. So, same thing with the Cinti Studios assets. Can't say enough about those. I have some little nitpicky things here and there about them, but I still love them. I almost even love John sometimes, but he keeps running away from me. So, all right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits on this video for right now. If you guys want me to stream some more and work a little bit more, or show you how to do some other stuff, just let me know on Discord, and I'll pop back on again. So I just do need to take a break. Mother Nature is calling, and my coffee cup is running empty, so, or has runneth empty. Alright, guys, well, we'll see you soon. Just give me a shout on Discord and let me know what you want to see. Alright, guys, thanks for watching.